to you all. Welcome to the channel Digimon Explained. My name is Jesse and today we are going to be talking about a Digimon that is actually quite important in terms of Digimon lore. That is why I'm not going to go ahead with a long introduction and just go straight ahead. In this video our main focus would be Ryudamon, a dragon Digimon and a natural carrier of the X antibody. Its dragon identity and its X antibody alone are already two important subjects to discuss. You see, in the Digimon universe, Dragon Digimon, meaning those who possess draconic features and traits, tends to have Dramon in their names, which is derived from dragon. They are all descendants of Dracomon, an ancient, pure-blooded dragon Digimon who we discussed on this channel. I'll put a link towards the video in the description box. So, Digimon typically need to possess some dragon data in their Digicores to become worthy enough to have the word Dramon written in their names. Although there are some exceptions, like Wargreymon, who is a dragon man Digimon. And Ryudamon is another exception, and this has maybe something to do with its birth. You see, both Ryudamon and Dorumon, who we discussed in a separate video, link towards it is in the description box, they are both of them experimental prototype Digimon from before Digimon were even discovered, and that is why both have an old style red interface on their forehead. You know what? Scratch the part where I said that they are Digimon. Both are in actuality not Digimon but artificial beings created by Kingdrasil, the sapient computer that controls the digital world of a particular server. They were created with the intention of using them to bring about the second phase of the Project Arc scheme. A project that came about because, due to the large amounts of data accumulated by the process of evolution and the flow of information that arrived from the network, the old digital world reached its maximum capacity. If the situation was not resolved, it would have resulted in the total collapse of the digital world, killing even Kingdrasil itself. So, the solution was to transport chosen Digimon to the new world and delete the other 98% of remaining Digimon with the X program. There are only a few ways a Digimon can survive the X program. It could either flee to the new world, where it would end up being persecuted by the Royal Knights, but at least they would have more chances to stay alive, or by either being a natural carrier of the X antibody. A Digimon could be the creator of the X antibody, or it could just steal an X antibody. Now there still are mysteries in terms of what the interface on Ryudamon and Dorumon's foreheads would mean. Theories tell that Yggdrasil was creating Digimon with the X antibody prior to the X program, meaning it knew it would need the antibody to have survivors once it would launch the X program. And by releasing Dorumon and Ryudamon into the digital world, it would spread awareness of the X antibody and Digimon would fight to become the chosen ones, to be granted a way into the new world. Well, in all cases that is just a theory. Please make sure to write in the comment section what you think might be the significance of the interface on Dorumon and Ryudamon's foreheads. So the question now is, who is Ryudamon and what does it try to represent? Maybe best that we first check out its name, right? Its name Ryudamon means Dragon King. It is the promoted rook chess piece in Chogi, also known as Japanese chess. So we are talking about a mini dragon with a clear Japanese inspiration. Its body is clad in Japanese style armor that is high in defensive abilities, which is why Ryudamon is perfectly capable of withstanding the opponent's attacks with its armor and helmet to then counterattack. And when it counterattacks, its movements are nimble, so it fights by resolutely leaping into the opponent's chest. Now I do have to say that Ryudamon, despite only being at the rookie level, is already a very mature Digimon, and that alone could give it an edge over other Digimon at the same level. It studied the business of combat, so that it is strong enough to fight, and it is a true samurai in terms of personality and moral codes. It possesses what is known as Buchikatagi, or in other words, it lives the way of the warrior, known as Bushido. It is a moral code concerning samurai attitudes, behavior and lifestyle. And because of it, Ryudamon fights with bravery and the soul that doesn't fear more powerful Digimon. Now what's interesting about Ryudamon and Dorumon's experimentation by Yggdrasil is that both their Digicores were modified and given specific data that would ultimately push them towards other, stronger forms. Deep within the deepest parts of Dorumon's Digicore lies the potent life force data of the legendary beast, the dragon. and this would ultimately make it digivolve into the Mega Level Beast Dragon Digimon called Dorugoramon, also nicknamed the Final Enemy. The data that is said to have been hidden within the deepest parts of Ryodamon's Digicore is the ferocious combat data of the dragons and generals of Japanese mythology. And later on in this video, we are going to see which Digimon it will end up digivolving to. Ryodamon's champion form is called Ginryumon, a digivolved prototype dragon Digimon, with a name referring to the silver general Chogi piece in Japanese chess. Ginryumon's entire body is also clad in sturdy Japanese armor, and with that it uses the same battle strategy as Ryodamon, where it charges the enemy while parrying enemy attacks using its own body, and also eyesight to detect enemy attacks right before they hit. Ginryumon can certainly defend itself correctly, but if needed it can attack an enemy by shooting sharp spears from its mouth. Truth is that it specializes in attacks with outstanding penetrative abilities. Ginryumon is truly a Digimon that was correctly shaped thanks to the inclusion of Japanese dragons and generals data. I say so because, despite having a quite armored appearance, it has a light body that allows it to glide gracefully through the air with an elegance of a dragon general. Although, a young dragon, let me say it like that. It really becomes a full-grown dragon once it gets to its ultimate form, which is called Hisiarumon, a beast dragon Digimon that soars freely through the sky, clad in armor of elegantly shimmering scales. Its form is the result of the interface on its forehead unlocking the data of dragons and generals from Japanese myth lying dormant deep within its Digicore, filled with their ferocious combat instincts, giving it this majestic form while still emitting an appearance of a battle commander. What I like about Hisiarumon is that it is not your typical dragon Digimon that will spit fire. In fact, it can do none of that. Hisiarumon's mobility is its greatest strength, granting it command over most of the vast skies of the net, and it is both a shapeshifter and also a magician in some way. For example, it can turn itself into a giant sword to strike down its foe. It can also emit rays of light in every direction from the orbs in its claws, and speaking of orbs, you see these orange and green orbs Hisiarumon is holding. These are extremely important for the well-being of our dragon Digimon here. Normally Hisiarumon possesses the wisdom and composure of a god, but if either of the crystal-like orbs it holds in its hands is damaged, it will instead grow as fierce as a raging demon and attack with all the power it can muster. These orbs hold great significance as these are the souls of Hisiarumon's lost companions. The orb in its right hand is the soul of Kinryu, while the orb in its left hand is the soul of Kakuryu. It is said that each orb contains the data of a Digicore hidden within it, which led me to the following question: who were Kinryu and Kakuryu? Were they Digimon or were they dragons from Japanese mythology? Unfortunately, we have no information whatsoever, and scrolling online through the internet wasn't much of a help either. Hisiarumon still remains a Digimon with the data of generals, so I'm not surprised if it had allies with whom it fought until they perished and turned into these two orbs. They must have been very close, considering the fact that Hisiarumon's mood depends entirely on whether the orbs are whole or not. So if any of you has some clue about these characters, Kinryu and Kakuryu, please be kind and let us know in the comment section. For the Mega level we have Uryumon, an imaginary Digimon born from the daydream of a Digicore. Let me explain that one. You see, because this Digimon's Digicore already contained data on Japanese myth of fierce dragons and generals, the form that this Digicore imagined was a dragon warrior clad in imposing Japanese-style armor, wielding a sword in each hand. And maybe some side information, the name Uryu comes from the yellow dragon in Chinese religion and mythology. Make sure to check the pinned message in the comment section that will guide you to the explanation of what the yellow dragon is all about. Now, remember the two orbs in the hand of Hisiarumon. Well, it would appear that they now changed into the two swords. The left-hand sword is the Gairyu Sadaijin, or in other words, Armored Dragon Left Greatsword. And the right-hand sword is the Gairyu Udaijin, or in other words, Armored Dragon Right Greatsword. And with those two swords it can fire a strong projectile. The wings also have blades, which are called Gaiba Daimaijin, in other words, Armored Horse Famous Blades. Uryumon has a move called Golden Armor, where it rampages like the earth flow of a mighty river, cutting everything apart while charging the opponent. It is in fact an attack said to have its roots from the Holy Dragon Digimon and Digimon Sovereign Hanglungmon, who can generate typhoons of an earth flow on the scale of a natural disaster. Although, to be fair, the theory of Uryumon's technique having its roots in Hanglungmon's attack is not entirely confirmed. To finish, Uryumon has another form it can take. You remember the other prototype Digimon Dorumon? Well, it has another Digivolution line which will make it digivolve into the Mega Level Royal Knight Digimon Alphamon. And what is special about this Digimon is that it is a magnificent magician. It can deploy magic circles of Digicode which it can use for various means. Through the operation of the magic circle that Alphamon unleashed, Uryumon achieved a miraculous Digivolution and became a sword. And it's not just any kind of sword, by the way. You see, as an experimental prototype Digimon that pursued further fighting strength, and by becoming a sword, all of that fighting strength was devoted exclusively to its attacks. Meaning that to swing the Uryuken sword is to wield all of the power contained within a Mega Digimon, so to speak. In other words, it is not your average Digimon that can swing the sword, and it is not your average Digimon that can take the blow. I like that it is not the first time that a Digimon changes itself into an object, or in this case a sword. Omnimon did the same when it became the Omni Sword, which was carried by Impelgamon, giving it access to the Paladin mode. For more on this, check out the explaining Paildramon Digimon Digivolution line video. Hey guys, this is the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I know that many requested Ryudamon as I already discussed Dorumon, so here we have the video, and I hope I did it justice. I do admit that I became quite a fan of this line. I've always been a big fan of everything that is related to samurai and the way of the warrior, the Bushido. And heck, I just finished reading the book of Yasuke, the first samurai of African descent, so I admit, reading a bit into the profile of Uryumon and its previous form made me quite interested. Also, I know that this whole line is but a prototype and was really artificially created and therefore doesn't exactly function like your typical dragon, but still it made me quite curious to put it next to the 4 Great Dragon. In fact, I did, only to quickly realize that the 4 Great Dragons are still individually on a totally different level. Anyway, in case you guys are new, please make sure to like the video and subscribe for more Digimon videos. There is more that will come, so stay tuned. Make sure to comment about this line and tell me what you liked or disliked about it. What are your theories? Oh, and tell me which other Digimon you want me to discuss. Also, know that all my videos are placed in particular Digimon playlists, which are always updated. That way, you can catch up on newer and older videos.